uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! You know what makes my socks roll up and down, you dirty grubs? Finding out something that not everyone else knows. And today, I'm going to talk to you about something that not everyone else knows. And that something goes by the name of the P90, this thing here. I'm going to tell you why it is kind of exciting and why you should be using this gun more, how you can use this gun effectively, what you should be running on this gun, and there is a little bit of a clue as to the way you should be using it. And that's its main competitor, the Vector. And people never really considered the P90 any good because I told them it wasn't good. Also because it wasn't that good a while ago. But there's been some changes. Would you do me a favor if you liked the video, hit the like button, thumbs up. You don't have to pay me any money, just hit that like button. And if you think it's worth seeing more of this kind of content, then subscribe. And that empowers me as a human to feel like I should make more of this kind of content. And if you think it's the kind of content that'll make your socks roll up and down, then maybe you should share it with your buddies. The P90, let's talk about it. Not everyone knows this, but when Livic was first introduced, I did the numbers on all the guns. And the P90's rate of fire was pretty average. In fact, its rate of fire was such that its time to kill was more in line with like a 5.56 AR, 0.33, than it was with, say, a Tommy gun, 0.24. At the time, it was 0.24. In the most recent patch where they unified the rates of fire on all the weapons, the P90 snuck under the radar and it got a huge buff. They took about 20% off the rate of fire, down from a round every 0.066 seconds to around every 0.058 seconds. In fact, no, it's about 18%, whatever. That's a lot. And that brought it under the magical 0.300 mark for time to kill. In fact, its time to kill dropped down to 0.290, which is a very substantial drop. And it's not quite as low as some SMGs. And I'll get to that because that is important. Just absolute time to kill in a nutshell is oftentimes important. But I'll also get to something else. The P90 is a lot more versatile than a lot of SMGs. The base damage on the P90 is quite low, 31.4. It's above the Uzi, but a shadow under the Vector, which is 32.9. And the reason that base damage is important is obviously the faster you fire, the higher your damage, the faster your time to kill. But there's two things that go for the P90 that are absolutely gorgeous. A lot like the Bison, it starts the game without any options to extend the magazine size because it's already got an enlarged magazine. You can put 50 in a P90, right? 50. So if you run two P90s, and trust me, I did, because I played a lot of Livic, and I found I really loved it, you can get 100 rounds of 9mm that spits death at an incredible rate of fire, like this. And you can use it to just spam and spray. Watch how we run out of ammo here. That's cool. We'll just switch to our other P90. We're going to jump down there, and we're going to get the job done. It's brutal. I did some testing with this gun. Its recoil characteristics have also been improved a lot. Now, the problem I have is I never kept any stats on the P90 or on recoil, in fact. I've never quantified it to a number across the board because, to be honest, I just have never really had the time to do that. So I ran the P90 as a primary. Look at the recoil. And if you're saying, what recoil? You're not wrong. The recoil is just about non-existent on this weapon. The recoil is incredibly good on the P90. And it wasn't something that I was expecting when I went back to check the weapon. Because I do every once in a while run guns that I don't often run just to see what happens. That's how we found out about the FAMAS. If anyone doesn't know or they've been living under a rock, the FAMAS is now probably my favorite, most underrated gun in the game. The FAMAS has... they chopped off so much of the bullet speed and kept all the, the bullet velocity and the bullet damage so that the FAMAS is now just a joke. It's stupidly good at taking people out. And the P90 is another gun that I hadn't looked at for ages because I just wasn't impressed with it straight off the bat. You can mount the red dot on it. You can mount a suppressor on it, which is great, or the barrel extender, which I need to retest. It didn't do anything last time, but I wouldn't be surprised if the barrel extender is now working. And you can mount a laser sight on it. And it is really, really good. Really, really good hip firing. With that laser sight and its complete lack of recoil, it's a 9mm UMP feel with 50 rounds in the clip instead of 35 maxed out, and it doesn't quite have the speed on the time to kill as a UMP. You can see that bullet hit just next to me. Livik, the queen of the third party. Look at the hip fire grouping is insane, right? The hip fire grouping is absolutely nuts. Why would you want to run this when you can run an M416? Well, you can run them both. The P90 is a much better close quarters weapon than an M416. Much, much better. Its time to kill is excellent. And if you're running solo squads like I am here, having a gun that can put 50 in a clip is really important. It gives you so much more versatility and lets you really work we play here with metal. The other thing I found was you can mount 3Xs on this gun. And because of its complete lack of recoil, that's not a problem. If you mount a 3X on a P90, it will perform. It will keep you 100% ticking along, doing damage, hitting the target. Which is kind of weird, but I think it suits the place that it's being dropped on. Like, Livik is not really about sniping. It's very third-party oriented, and Livik is not really about... Oh, hello, as we roll up to hello! Livik is all about the third party, and it's all about people lying in the grass or hiding behind rocks or smashing you as you're rotating into zones. And so having the P90 as a primary isn't such a big deal. There's lots of opportunities to use it as a close quarters weapon, and it does have the versatility to actually spray with this thing in mid-range. I mean, once you're getting longer, you're not doing the M416 stuff. You're not spraying people down. You're purely and simply using this when you have to in the mid-range. It's not the best for that. But it never used to be able to do that before because its rate of fire was just not fast enough to make up for the fact that, it doesn't have a good bullet speed and it doesn't have a big bullet damage. Having a faster rate of fire makes that a little bit easier. I ran this on Livik with metal here, you can see, all the time with a bolt action. And it was really, really good. In fact, it felt so freaking good. I need to go and retest the barrel extender because I kept running it with the barrel extender, right? To see if I could feel like it was faster, if the bullet speed was better. And I want to say that it was, but I need to make sure. Okay, so we're going to be doing a barrel extender test this week to check that out. And fingers crossed that is the case, because that would be really exciting to have a way to boost the speed on a gun like the P90 and even boost the speed on a gun like the M416. Wow, that would be pretty crazy. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the P90 is a gun that has a lot more versatility, a very nice high rate of fire, a super steep, like the recoil profile is just so stable. It's ridiculous. I just can't get too extended from this rock because the guy at the back is like, this is Livik in a nutshell, right? Deep in the blue, spamming people as they rotate in, trying to cut off angles. This guy goes back inside the hut and just starts drinking blue. Like, whatever. That's Livik. Get our heel off. Yeah, and then get inside. I hope you're enjoying the content. If you like this kind of content, let me know by subscribing and liking the video and sharing it with your buddies, because the more successful the content is, the more of it I make. If you like tactical videos, great. If they do well, I make more of them. If you like highlight reels and bloopers and crap, great, I make more of them. And I really do make the content based on how successful it is. There's a lot of videos out there, like sniper videos of mine, that haven't done that great. And I understand that people don't love sniping videos. So I'm trying to move away from that because, it is what it is. Anyway, we're going to keep discovering this kind of thing. We're going to keep pushing the boundaries in PUBG Mobile and learning the numbers, the new numbers and the new equipment and, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be looking at doing some updates to the grips and to the attachments and see if we can find out anything there that's changed, because for the longest time, the angle grip has been the absolute undisputed Ayatollah of rock and roller when it comes to the grips, for me anyway, in terms of spraying. And I might also have a crack with this gun here, the Mark 12. You can see it on my back along with the P90 to see if that has any real legs. It's got some good points, and I'd like to see it on a few other, on a few other maps. Anyway, I'm Bushka. Look after yourselves. Stay safe on the battlefield. Eat your veggies. Be nice to each other. And until next time, bye for now.